My name is Danish, and today I started my English practicing day, and I have to learn English for my interviews and for the next journey. It is the critical part for the interviews, and if I don't learn English, it will be tough for me to crack the interviews. So I will start my English by explaining Docker, and today I learned Docker, and it is the most important thing in the backend, especially when you're building scalable backend. So let's start with Docker. What is Docker? Docker is an open source platform for developing, shipping, and run the application. Run your application for Docker. Docker provides the ability to package all things, your dependencies and files, binaries, all of things, and it packages all of things into single container. What is container? Container is an isolated process which runs in isolated environment. Means if one container runs on the if one container runs on port 3000, and let's say another container runs on 4000 port, then both containers are independent, and these two containers are independent of your host machine. Let's say you have Mac, and it's running on port 5000, and you created a container, it's running on 3000. That container has independent and isolated environment, and it has no relationship your Mac machine or your machine which is running on 5000 or any other port. So what can we say about container? Containers are isolated processes which runs in isolated environment. And let's see, what can I use Docker for. Let's see uses of Docker. We can build, test, and run our application in fast and quickly, and make sure your apps run same. And also, if your containers also ensures that if let's say I I will give one example. I will give one example. If you have three components: React app, Postgres SQL, MongoDB, and some other app. Okay, React app, Python API, or Postgres or MongoDB UI, MongoDB, and you when whatever. I will take another example, and I will explain further in neat neatly. Let's say I have to work on someone's project. It has three components: React, Python, and Postgres database, and it has some versions of MongoDB or PostgreSQL or React app, and also some different dependencies that have. And I want to bring that project in my machine. If that React app database, no, if I want to bring that project in my machine, how I can ensure that I have some version of MongoDB, and it also have the same version of MongoDB or Python that project have. Uh, the, the project, the versions of the Node.js or the versions of the React app or dependencies or MongoDB should must not the same, must not the different. If I want to run that application in my machine, so what we can conclude from it, what we can conclude from it, if if I have Node version 20 and someone have 18, so I can't run that Node version on my machine because it has 18 and I have 20. So Docker lets you run others object project irrespective of the versions of that project. If even it has Node version 18, 19 or 20, I can run on my machine irrespective of the versions with the help of Docker or containers, because we will run this MongoDB component and Node.js component in containers, that is isolated environment. Um, so I will explain all of things that I have spoken. The first, what is Docker? Docker is an open source platform for developing, shipping, and run the application quickly. And Docker provides ability to package all of things and run an application in the loosely isolated environment with the help of container. We run application in a container, and that container runs in isolated environment. Uh, what can in what way we can use Docker? First is we can build, test, and run application quickly. We can save time and other all of things. Also, scalability increases, and it also makes sure your apps runs everywhere on the machine, irrespective of the versions, dependencies, files. We need fine. What is an image? Uh, we can learn about now image. What is an image? What is an image? Image. If we have to run containers, then in containers we need before I am running Node.js environment, MongoDB environment in isolated environment, but that Node.js environment requires some dependencies, files to run in isolated environment. It cannot run in the without dependencies or any other files. It also requires dependencies and files, a lot of things. And then image comes into picture. It is nothing but it is the collection of, it includes or it contains dependencies, files, binaries. It is the package of all things, like to run container. Understood? What is image? It is the package of all binaries, dependencies, files that requires for running the container or any environment like Node.js environment, or MongoDB environment, or etc. etc. It is simple. And today I also learned And what is volume? No. Volume, it is the it is so far next. It's time to go. 10-minute video, and still this video goes up to 1 GB. So I have to quit and upload to YouTube.